Logano leads lap 1.
Looks like Ryan Truex got a pretty good start right through Allen, but Logano was on his game, and he really needed to get in front of Logano a little bit farther than he did.
Kurt Busch to the inside of Allgaier for second as Logano is back out in front.
Justin Allgaier was pretty upset with Kurt Busch early in this race. Thought that Kurt got into him and turned him sideways. We heard some radio chatter about that early. Let's see what these two do right now, see if they kind of respect each other or not.
I don't think you're going to see Allgaier cut him a break. I don't think he's going to let him go because of that, because Allgaier lost a lot of spots early in the race, and he kind of blamed that on Kurt Busch because he thought he got into him.
Going back to some stuff that happened way back in the early parts of the race. Kurt Busch, who finished in 4th, Justin Allgaier, who finished in 5th. Kurt obviously looking to check to see what paint scuffs might be on the back bumper of the 31 car in order to further his point in the discussion.
I think Kurt's trying to say, I barely touched you. And he's saying, no, you did touch me. Look.
And that went on for a little bit before Kurt walked away. Dave?
With Justin now, a brief summary of what you and Kurt discussed?
The weather. We discussed.
I doubt it.
We discussed the changing of the weather. No, we just both fighting for the same real estate, and unfortunately both agreed to disagree. So overall, it was a great day for the Branch Chevy. We first top 5 in a while, and we had a strong car. That last run we were just way too tight and struggled a little bit. So hopefully we can carry this momentum into the next couple races.
And they break their way into the top 5 in points for the 31 team as well. Dr. Punch.
And Kurt Busch down here on pit road, another top 5 finish for Kurt, driving for brother Kyle, and a great top 5. By the way, what happened with you? We just saw it with Justin Allgaier on the track and afterward.
On the initial start of the race, it was like, packing air underneath somebody, and he got loose in front of us, and he thinks we purposely hit him. And so he drove like, all day to try to door us and try to do stupid things out on the track. And I'm on probation, so I can't even pick my nose the right way. But, it's just a good day for us to finish in the top 5 with the Monster Energy car. I'm proud of it. We're working at it. And, from where we were in the beginning of the year to where we are now, we've made great steps moving forward. So, I don't know. There's clowns that want to play, and we'll play. I've got no problem with it. But, and then there's fans that'll get on blog sites and Twitter tonight and just start talking a bunch of riffraff. All's what it was the initial start of the race. Race your car, kid. Race your car. That's all there is to it. It's called a race. That's what we're doing out here. We're racing.
Oh, trouble, turn 3. Big mess. Austin Dillon, Justin Allgaier, Brian Scott.
Killed it. We are tore up, man.
That was a race for 7th place. That has gone a little sideways.
Yeah, when you make a move like this, you see Austin Dillon makes the move. You gotta have a little faith in that guy that he's going to give you some room on the bottom, and he didn't get it.
That's the worst case scenario for both of those guys, Austin and Justin. You drive down to turn 3, and you just hope that spotter in front of you tells them inside, because you're making an aggressive move,
and you can't undo it.
It's so frustrating. I think he was talking before he even hit the wall. He's so frustrated.
I'm not sure if that was him or his spotter.
I'd be curious to go back and explore whether the 16 of Ryan Reed hit the 3 into that corner. That seemed to be the impression of the 3's spotter, but I don't know if the video backs that up or not.
Dillon started on the pole last week for Heat 2, led every lap at Bristol. Great start here to Heat 2 at Richmond. Look at him fanning out. Ty Dillon getting aggressive. He can smell $100,000.
Well, he said he was going to be aggressive. He's going all the way to the front.
That was beautiful. Move over, big brother. I want the race lead. Here comes Ty Dillon making noise, lap 1.
Oh, and Allgaier sideways off turn 4.
Talk about the ultimate fighter here, Larry. Not sure if tempers flared a bit in heat number 2 here at Richmond. You see Ty Dillon going over to talk to the 7, Justin Allgaier, after that 35-lap heat race.
Well, I didn't see anything that warranted this. Maybe they're just going over and comparing notes on what they each would do with $100,000 possibly.
Let's see if Vince Welsh can get to the bottom of this. He's with Ty.
Ty Dillon setting himself up for a potential $100,000 payday. The conversation with Justin, was there some discrepancy about whether or not that move at the start was a little too risky on your behalf?
I don't know. I was just making sure he knew. I really didn't mean to get into him on purpose. I got down there and got on the splitter really hard. I know I can understand why he's probably a little frustrated, but it wasn't really anything I did on purpose. I was trying to win the heat race, and we went from starting 10th to start on the outside pole, so I did what I wanted to do. And our West Coast Chevy is really good. I can't thank Xfinity enough for giving us the stash for cash this heat race style. Last 2 weeks, it's really helped me. I would have started 10th last week and started 4th, and this week we're going to start on outside poles. So I love this heat race style. You got to be aggressive, and that's what I did there. So proud of Danny Eflin, my guys, and Nick Harrison for building me a great race car to start out here. We've never really been good at Richmond, but I feel like we got a good piece here today. So just excited to get the race. You got to be a little bit better, I think, to beat the Gibbs cars, but we got a good starting spot.
Yeah, well done. Ty Dillon wins heat number 2. Chris?
And Justin Allgaier qualifies for the Dash for Cash 2 weeks in a row. Justin, you had some words there with Ty Dillon about that start. What were your thoughts?
Well, it's just unfortunate, but we got a really good brand fresh agriculture Chevy, and I think that once we got sorted out there, then the main goal was to just make sure that we made the Dash for Cash again. Obviously, huge thanks to Xfinity Comcast for what they do for our sport, and we'll keep digging. It was a solid 35 laps. We're going to make some adjustments here. Jason Brett and the boys did a good job, and we just the track's widening out. It's getting better. It's getting slicker. So that's all things that as racers we love to see. So should be a good main.
Yep. Starting on row 2, Hermie.
Well, Rick, as we heard earlier, Kyle Busch experiencing something wrong with the race car. Not sure if something's broke or not. They've encouraged him to try to drive through it. He's done his best, but this is what he just said.
Something's different in the right front. Yeah. Something's coming loose. The toe is going every which way, getting into the corner. Oh, yeah. Something's broke.
Crew Chief Adam Stevens has rallied the team and put them to work behind the wall, getting ready to bring the 18 in, perhaps to do service on it behind the wall at the right opportunity.
Something broke there.
May be it.
Yeah, he went sideways and it's broke, and now the caution's going to come out for the 18. Contact as well.
Oh, Larson in it. Kyle Larson's in it.
Kyle Larson got caught up in it, the 46. Justin Allgaier, Martin Truex Jr. involved.
That's what we talked about, how quick it happens. The 18 spun by himself, but these other cars, as they're entering the corner so fast, you can't see around the corner. As you mentioned, Jeff, makes heavy contact with the 18.
Kyle Busch was running second position.
Coming at you guys.
Martin Truex Jr. was third, got caught up in it. You see the damage to the 78.
I think we saw smoke coming out of the back of the 18 car as he entered the corner. Right there, see the left rear tire smoking. Left rear quarter panel is damaged. I wonder if something broke in the rear suspension. It was, he talked about the car driving bad and strange. I wonder if something in the trailer arm or something in the track bar mount, something broke in the back of the car, I assume.
Yeah, and then the 46 comes into the picture, committed to the bottom, it appears, and he makes contact with the 18. But I think he hit it dead on. If you look at the rear end housing in the 18 car, it's pointing really the wrong direction, not straight forward. The 46, he decided to go right, needed to stick with the position or the plan to go left.
He was on the apron.
Yeah.
And Martin Truex,
big hit.
Place.
Martin.
Wonder how much damage is on the 42 of Larson. We keep talking about him having to have good races and have a win. And I wonder if this is going to take that opportunity away from him.
Well, you talked about the 31 having trouble. Kyle Larson had taken that points advantage all the way down to 12 to get in front of him in the chase standings to the 16th spot.
And he didn't do anything wrong, right? I mean, that's Bristol. You can get in a wreck you had nothing to do with.
You see Kyle Busch's obvious disappointment. Good car, really until this mechanical issue. Maybe that is why the foregun. We don't know if that's why Kevin Harvick has been able to run him down. Mike.
And Kyle's just gotten out of the race car. What were you feeling inside the car?
Something breaking, obviously. I don't know, it's a shame. Last few times we've been here, we've had really fast M&M's, Toyota Camrys, and we haven't been able to finish. We've been having parts failures here. So something we got to address and fix. I'm really tired of losing races here with parts falling apart. So they'll hear about it on Tuesday. But the person that's really the biggest moron out there is the spotter of the 46 and the driver of the 46. I've been wrecking for half a lap, and they just come on through and clean us out. That's stupid. So, I don't know. Frustrating day. Let's go home.
Appreciate your time, Kyle. Obviously frustrated, and you can understand why after leading so many laps this afternoon.
Rick, we focused on all the cars that came on the pit road, but the 14 of Cole Witt has decided to stay on the racetrack, and that has changed everything. That has taken Elliott Sadler on 2 tires. He's not the leader. He doesn't get lane choice. He must start in the bottom. all of that point I was trying to make about the 7 of Justin Allgaier, he's now on the top behind Eric Jones, behind used tires on the 14. I'm a little surprised with so much on the line that this 14 would stay on the racetrack.
I think that helps Elliott Sadler.
We mentioned at the beginning of the show, how will the other 36 cars on the track affect the championship 4? We're about to see it. It'll be 3 to go when they get to the start-finish line. Again, the race leader is Cole Witt in the 14. Elliott Sadler on the inside running second. He spun the tires. Elliott Sadler goes by right when they get to the start-finish line. Here comes the 19.
For Justin Allgaier, he crossed the line 6, comes away 3rd in the championship. And Justin, I'm going to ask you to start by taking me through that final restart. Get your thoughts on it and the decision by the 14 team to stay out.
Well, I mean, obviously in this sport you got to take chances sometimes, and they took a chance, and unfortunately, I was super excited on coming off a pit road because it was all 4 of us that were fighting for this championship, gonna have to battle it out. And I knew we had a really, really fast brand fresh agriculture Chevy. We had raced all night with Daniel and Eric and Elliott and ran up front and ran second a lot of the night. And so to not even be able to race for it at the end, I think that was probably the hardest part. Just knowing that your shot was kind of gone. But everybody at Junior Motorsports, I know Elliott said it, but everybody at Junior Motorsports worked so hard. This has been so much fun this season. We've had a blast. I told you before today, we came in here with no pressure on ourselves. We wanted to go out there and lay it all on the table and get the best finish we could, and we did that. And I'm probably more bummed for that we didn't get a better finish for our guys, because we did what we needed to do tonight, and it came down to somebody else's mistake that took us out of it. But I can't thank Xfinity and NASCAR for all they do for our sport. To be here, the first Xfinity Series chase, to have the fans, the support that we all had, from everybody, it was really special and just a lot of fun.
All right, well, they gave it everything they had, certainly, so they can walk away with their heads held high. Rick?
Getting a big shove from Brad. It didn't work out for Brad, though.
Oh, they're all stacked up behind him.
That is a lot of cars.
Yeah, and it looked like Brad got a little bit loose or pushed up or something there, and you see the mess that it created when it stacked them all up.
I keep thinking eventually 3 wide and 3 and 4 is going to be a problem. So far, so good. And best on this restart, give a call to Cole Custer, who's second, and Noah Gragson, the rookie, is 3rd in that 9 car.
Yeah, they had a good pit stop, and as that run ended with Noah Gragson, he took that loose race car and started to move up into that traction compound and was really making good time. And we see Brad here. It looks like he's struggling a little bit on new tires to get his car going like he wants to, but taking advantage of that grip up top with a looser race car.
We've seen guys be able to create passes there. It definitely makes that inside guy think about what he's going to do when he goes into the corner.
Issues for Brad Keselowski. Off the pace, back straightaway. Actually coming through the front straightaway here and into turn 1.
Everyone squared up to you.
What was the deal there? Now he's coming off of turn 4 and across the start-finish line.
Oh, from that radio conversation, it sounds like somebody hit him.
Couple of problems here.
Yeah, he tried to get off of the 2 and then stacked him up, and the 7 got into him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and in Justin's defense right there, I think as you go through 1 and 2, and Austin, you can talk to what you think about this, but you want to be right on him. Oh, we got another spin here on the front stretch.
And look at this.
I love it. A lot of action starting up.
Non-verbal communication between Brad Keselowski and Justin Allgaier.
Yeah, Brad's not happy about that. I think from Brad's standpoint, see a big donut on the side of the 52. That might have had something to do with that spin. Maybe a car underneath it loose.
Let's hear from Justin Allgaier after the issues he had with Brad Keselowski.
Yeah, 10-4. Next time I had to get a good look at the right side because Brad decided to run into me with his middle finger out. Which, I'm sure he's mad because I got him, but you can't brake check somebody in the middle of the corner because you're getting loose.
It's a strong middle finger.
Yeah, and that was, I think that was just Brad trying to help, and he let off. And I don't think Justin realized that.
Tightening up the field will help both Brandon Jones and Christopher Bell, who had lost track position after those penalties a while ago. Under caution for the third time today. This is not the reason why, but a nice exchange on that last restart. Brad Keselowski, Justin Allgaier.
Happened there? He entered a little lower, about 3/4 of a car length behind you, surged up to you and just hit you square, just like you said, 2 or 3 laps in a row.
Even on the restart, I'm on the car in front of me. Was he hit me then?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he definitely hit him after the restart, but I think this move here, when you roll in there and you're the guy behind a loose car, you want to be able to roll through the center of the corner, and you try to time it so that you just squeeze off that bumper and you can get the side draft. And I think that, in my opinion, Brad was going slower than Justin anticipated. He just hit him.
Yeah, that just shows you Justin's car's quite a bit better than the 12 at this point in time. The contact was a little aggressive.
Yeah.
But, from the very beginning, the first part, Brad had to lift because he was so tucked in against the 2. That's why the 7 got in him. I get that a little bit. The second one, I think Justin could have been a little, maybe a touch more patient. I don't know.
Justin Allgaier hard into the wall. So Allgaier, one of the drivers we expected at the beginning of the season would be running for a championship and be a competitor here at this race, into the wall, and it looked like nobody around him.
Well, this is the risk. I love the call to come get tires because it opened up the strategy, but you have to take care of your car back in the pack. Something has got the 7 turned around, and some pretty heavy damage to that right rear quarter panel.
Yeah, let's see what happened here. Going through there side by side is almost impossible for those guys, and you can see right there, just a difficult situation for all drivers involved, and he gets the worst of it.
Yeah, Ross Chastain just gets in so deep, he drives into the left rear quarter panel, and then I think politely said, hey, I've already spun him, so let me spin him completely out and not spin myself out.
Look at the 7, though. He doesn't want to go by the 4. Is he looking for a little payback here as they're coming through the inner loop? Out of the inner loop, into the carousel. What is he going to do? He gets him a little bit of bumper. Hey, send him into the tire barrier right there. Payback from earlier.
Gonna kill him.
Ross Chastain in the fence.
Rick, he has been released from the infield care center. So there was initial contact, then there was a second set of contact. What is your thoughts or opinions on the second set of contact?
Oh, it's better if I keep my opinion to myself. We'll handle it. No, the buckle up, protect your melon, buckle up New York Chevy was running good. We really had a pretty good car for no decals on it. But the biggest thing was that I did have my seatbelts on. Our 9-point safety harnesses did hold me in, did their job. The tires really were aggressive. I don't think I've ever hit tires before, so I didn't expect when I did slide into them. I thought I would just bounce off of them and keep going, but they grabbed the car and destroyed it. So hate that for Johnny Davis and Gary Keller. We've had a long history together. We love each other like two fathers to me, and that'll always go on to the end of time. So just proud of the effort to show up here together again, and everything went smooth. We've been promoting everything up here Monday and Tuesday, and just really proud to drive their number 4 car.
Well, pretty beat up number 7 car for Justin Allgaier, but it winds up finishing 4th. So kind of walk me through coming back through the field, and also on that next to last restart, the contact with Bell.
Yeah, the day was up and down for sure. I mean, we had to battle some adversity. Jason did a great job on pit calls, and he left us out there. And when we come in and put tires on, I knew we were catching those guys in front, and just kind of hoping it would go green, to be honest. And then when we had the cautions, I got kind of behind on one, and then we were 3 wide getting into the S's. And I don't think Christopher knew we were 3 wide. Yeah. He pulled off a heck of a save, but that let the 22 go by us, and it damaged our left front pretty good. But hats off to Austin. He drove a great race. Cool to get the first win. So congratulations to him. Just a long day for our brand professional agriculture Camaro, but still a solid points day, and we can go to next week to Mid-Ohio and hopefully have a good time.
We rarely see you upset, but you and Ross Chastain had a run-in mid-race, and then you ran back into him. Was it intentional on your behalf to go back out and seek him, or how did that develop in your mind?
Ross and I have had a rocky relationship. We've had some contact in the past, and he took advantage in the bus stop and wrecked me on purpose, and that was disappointing. I had every intention of probably turning him around. I didn't want to put him in the fence, so my apologies to Johnny Davis and that 4 team. I had no intention of wrecking their car, but I wanted to make sure that I got the point across that that's not the first time that he's run into me and hurt our day, and it's just frustrating when people ratio like that week in and week out. So it's just a shame that it had to end that way.